Over the years, we've received many requests for us to create very specific reports for certain users' needs, which we have always done. But a recent request by a long-time user has prompted us to add a very powerful reporting option, namely the line item power search option. It's similar to the normal power search available from the search menu in EzStamp, but with much greater flexibility. It is in the latest version of EzStamp, which is 8.25, and I'll just show you here. Just go to Help and About, and you'll see 825.5.20. Many users do not realize that the normal power search available from the search menu here, right there, returns results at the record level rather than at the stamp level. What does this really mean for non-techies? And let me explain. I'll use an everyday example that will explain this easily. Let's use an example of a printed book as a way to explain how data is stored in EzStamp. In EzStamp terms, a record is a Scott number or a page number in our book example. So a stamp grade would be similar to a line number in a page of a book. So on a page, you can have multiple grades or stamps. This is an important database structure to keep in mind. So to reiterate, a page number in our book example would be an example of like Scott number 5976 that I have displayed here. So anything that would be in these grades or these other tabs would be a page number. But a grade would be an individual line item in any one of these positions or any of these other tabs that are available. So a normal power search returns a list of Scott numbers meeting the search criteria you specify. Excuse me. But a line item power search will return a list of all specific grade items that meet the criteria as well as the associated Scott numbers and other details. This allows for much more detailed searches to be performed, allowing you to drill down to the most specific details of your inventory. A few examples will show how useful this new feature is. This has now become the most widely used report/search in EzStamp. Spend some time and learn how to use it, and you will love this new reporting option. Let's look at some of the stamps I have inventoried for this video to demonstrate the features of the power search. I have 5 stamps with different details, and I have specifically entered details in certain fields to demonstrate how the line item power search will work. So if you look at this particular stamp, we have one grade in mint never hinged very fine. A supplied value, I provided my value or your value and a quantity. I also have a plate block that with a your value and no quantity. I have a mint sheet with no your value and a quantity, and I have a first aid cover with a your value and a quantity. Plus, I've also entered, I've not entered any other details like location or comments. And if you look in the plate number block area, I have indicated that a purchase from or a buy from of Century Stamps from Ontario, one of my favorite stamp dealers. Okay, so let's go look at the previous record. So this is Scott number 1896. I also have a mint hinged extra fine, no your value, quantity of 1, mint hinged, never hinged very fine, and extra fine, both with your values. And I have no extra details in the grade area, but in the PNC tab, I've inventoried a strip of 5, and I've duplicated that strip of 5 with quantities of 3 and 1. And I've also got a buy from, again from Century Stamps, and a location on the second copy there. And then the other stamp, I have marked this stamp with a 0 quantity, so it's inventoried but with 0 quantity, and we have no special details located anywhere. or in the PNB tab, as you can see. And then for number 1000, what do we got here? We have a grade with no quantity of 1, no your value, and no details there. And in the the FDC, I've entered 3 first aid cover caches from 3 different cache makers, purchased from 3 different dealers. One is Allentown Philatelic. And then I also have a location on the first record in the FDC. And then for this Scott number, I have no grades inventoried, but I have 1 plate number block inventoried as a very fine hinged, again purchased from Century Stamps, and a location indicated for that stamp. And then number 500, again, I have 3 grades inventoried, mint hinged fine with a your value and a quantity of 1, purchased from Century Stamps. I have mint never hinged very good, a your value, and a plate block upper right with no your value and a quantity. And we have no locations there. And in the PNB section, again, we have no locations there or any other details. So let's recall number 5976 and go over what I have inventoried here. I have 1 mint never hinged very fine with supplied value and a your value with a quantity of 1. I have a plate block with a supplied value, a your value, 0 quantity. I have a mint sheet with a supplied value, no your value, and a quantity, and a first aid cover with a your value and a quantity of 1. Now let's run a line item power search to find any stamp where there is a quantity of 3 or more and purchased from Century Stamps, and the plate number block tab has a location of top box and first aid cover cache quantity of 2 or more and purchased from Allentown dealer. So to do this, we go to the reports menu, line item reports, and you'll see this new power search option. And I have saved some of my searches to save time here, so I don't have to re-enter everything, but I'll just show you. I'm going to load this particular report. So if you take a look in the stamp criteria, I've set my I've not excluded 0 quantities. For the grade tab, I said I want a quantity equal to 0. For the PNC search, it's not enabled. For the PNB, I want a PNB very fine hinged purchase from Century, and nothing in the FDC. Again, in the stamp criteria, you'll notice that I did check grades and PNB only. So if we click Find and Show, here's the results. So if you remember, we said that we wanted any stamp where there was a quantity of 3 or more and purchased from Century Stamps, and the PNB tab has a location of top box and a quantity of 2 or more. So now I'll rerun the exact same report, but this time I will exclude 0 quantity items to see the difference. So if I run that report again, go to Reports, Line Item, Power Search, I can just do Last Search and it will recall it. And I'm going to exclude 0 quantity items and then click Find and Show, and now it has excluded anything that had 0 quantities. I'm going to actually rerun that report because I think I selected the wrong one for us. So let's do it again. So I'm going to load quantity 3 in top box, and I will not exclude 0 quantities. Find and Show. That's better. So now I'll rerun the same report. So remember, we got 3 different line items here, 2 number 501s. So I'm going to run the same report again. And we will exclude the 0 quantities. And now you only see one of the number 501s, because number 501 had an item with 0 quantity. So I'll run one more report. This one will be to find any stamp where there is a quantity of 0 and purchase from Century Stamps. So let's run the report. Line item reports, power search. I'm going to load it, which I have saved here. So if you look here, it includes grades and PNBs. I'm not excluding 0 quantities. And for grades, I set a quantity of 0. And PNB, I wanted to find anything that was purchased from Century. I click Find and Show, and we have the 3 grades. Now I'm going to rerun this same report, and we will exclude 0 quantities. So if we do reports, line item, power search, and do the last search again, and this time we'll exclude 0 quantities, and now you only get the 1. I'll rerun that report one more time and show you another option that's available. So we'll go to reports, line item, power search, and we'll get the last search. And in the PNB tab, we have the option to include very fine or include very fine never hinged. This time I'm going to exclude the very fine hinged. So I will not include that and click Find. And it tells us that there's nothing to find. And why is that? If you take a look in the PNB section, we only have a very fine hinged value, a quantity of 1. And nothing for the very fine never hinged. So we asked it to search for the criteria we selected, but to exclude very fine hinged, and that's why it gave us the 0 results. One of the really nice things about the new power search is that you have up to 3 levels of searches for each of these tabs. So you can have just matching level 1, level 1 and 2, and any combination thereof for each of these tabs. So let me enable them so I can show you here. So for the PNCs, again, you can have any one of these levels of matching. Pay special attention when you're running these reports to the exclude 0 quantity checkbox, and remember that and or operators can be used in multiple combinations. This new report search tool will literally allow you to search on a huge number of combinations of stamp filtering and possibilities to get just the data that you want and to report on. This will probably let you run any kind of report that you want to really drill down to the stamp and details that you want to report on. So explore and enjoy.